So that time again, we're going to be unboxing Cobb Vanth, the Marshal of Mos Pelgo, a deluxe vintage collection figure with a number, because that mattered to people for some reason. Yeah, so they've started packaging deluxe figures on cards that look kind of like action figure cards, except they're obviously much wider. And this, I assume, in response to the fact that a vocal and incredibly irritating component of the Star Wars fan community pulled their lips over their head and swallowed when Hasbro made what I thought was a very judicious attempt to move towards plastic-free packaging. They all just kind of went nuts. And even though Hasbro said, we're not going to stop doing, window cards for vintage collection figures, people still went nuts. They started releasing deluxe figures in plastic-free packaging, and people were going crazy. They were like, this isn't what I paid. No, I wanted to see the figure that I'll never take out of his plastic tube. Yeah, there he is. So very, very wide card. And fun fact about me, I have basically had a crush on Tim Oliphant since I was like, when did Scream 2 come out? Since I was like 21 years old. I have been in love with this guy my whole life. This guy basically was my queer awakening. I bought the Hot Toys Cobb Vanth when it came out, but I didn't quite click with it. So I did end up selling that back on, actually just a few weeks ago, got a good price for it. But I love that character. Actually, of all of the episodes of The Mandalorian, that one, the first one in the second season, is still my favorite. I think that's kind of like a gorgeous little Star Wars mini movie, and for a guy who never really dug on Boba when I was a kid or even as an adult, like I've never really got, everybody thinks Boba Fett's armor is cool, but I never thought Boba Fett was cool. So as a guy who was kind of outside the whole Fett subculture, watching Timothy Olyphant rock into that bar wearing Boba Fett's clothes was hot. The man has fantastic hair. Let's see if the hair on the action figure is as good as he deserves. A little warm-up tear. Big fat bubble. Ooh, there he is. No longer entombed. Let's answer the hair question right off the top. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's pretty good hair. Like, they got the sweep really nice. Now, I'm noticing that the one that I currently own has a dot of mustache paint on his nose, which I'm gonna obviously attempt to get off later with either solvents or my fingernail or both. When they first previewed this figure, I was like very unhappy with the head sculpt because I literally thought it looked like they'd taken the Tamura Morrison clone head sculpt that they've used like 600 times and just stuck hair on it. But I gotta say, I don't know how good the iPhone camera is gonna be for this. The likeness on that in person is surprisingly strong. Arguably stronger than the Hot Toys likeness, which I know was a bone of contention for that collecting community. I was really on the fence about buying this just because, again, I don't really buy a lot of Mandalorian figures anymore. I'm not the biggest fan of that show, but again, he is my favorite character from my favorite episode of that show. And this turned out better than I thought it would. The only downside, wait, maybe I'm lying. I was about to say the only downside is that you can't do the armor off just hanging out in his red shirt look, but I think maybe you can. Yep, that head comes off. That scarf comes off. Oh, yeah, the armor comes off, but not, obviously not all the way off because those pipes still connect to his thing. But, if you wanted to do a custom version and you wanted to file that neck down a little bit, you could definitely do a version where he's just hanging out in his skivvies, drinking whatever that blue crap is. A spotchka! It's in there somewhere. Being a deluxe figure, even though he's on a non-deluxe card, he does come kitted out like crazy. So he's got, the Boba Fett backpack with little jets, cute. And the helmet, obviously, which is it's a head swap helmet, so you get the proper proportions on the helmet instead of the gigantic Sabine Wren proportions. Although, fun fact, I just watched the Ahsoka show again recently. Sabine's helmet is gargantuan on the actress too. I actually don't think that figure was as far from the mark as we all said it was. And he comes with his little gun, and he comes with his big gun. So he is armed to the teeth and ready to go. Little gun does indeed fit into his holster. I recognize that in some ways the deluxe figures are just an opportunity for Hasbro to jack the prices up for stuff that back in the day we would have gotten with figures anyway. This guy's probably on the border because he does genuinely come with a decent amount of stuff. But yeah, again, I am really surprised at how good that sculpt comes off with the deco, if I ever get the gray paint off his nose. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of Cobb Vanth, the Marshal of Moss Pelgo in the comments.